Starting a dropshipping store today feels overwhelming. Too many so-called gurus, too many strategies that don't actually work, and there's no real roadmap. So in this video, I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna walk you through the exact step-by-step strategy I would use if I had to start from zero today. Brand new store, no audience, no product, no following, no face, right? This isn't a theory. I recently launched a brand new Shopify store from scratch using this exact same system, and in just the first month alone, it's made over $23,597. If you pay attention and actually model what I'm about to show you, this video might become the turning point in your e-commerce, internet, faceless money journey, all right? So let's get into it. So really, now that we're in the whiteboard, there's really like 4 pillars of a successful dropshipping store, right? So there are 4 components to making the business work. You have your product, your store, your marketing, and the operations. The operations is like fulfillment and customer service, simple stuff, right? So let's start with your product, right? Finding the product. Nothing else really matters outside of the product, right? You can be an ads genius, a Shopify designer, someone who can code and build websites, but none of that matters if a bad product is on your store, because it'll just kill you every time, metaphorically anyways. There's 3 criteria I use to identify what winning products look like and what they actually are, right? So first we have recently trending on social media. Okay, so this will be a lot of the stuff that you see on TikTok Shop, maybe as you scroll through Facebook or you scroll through Instagram Reels, maybe you're seeing YouTube shorts about it, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Anything that you know, maybe you are inside of a specific niche on the internet. You love mountain biking or snowboarding, and you know certain things about that audience and that niche that most people wouldn't know. So you'll know if something is trending in that area, right? But really, when we go to the niche front, that comes to the second piece, right? It needs to have mass appeal. So it needs to have mass appeal, but even if you're going to sell inside of a niche, it needs to have mass appeal inside of the niche. So everybody inside of that niche needs to be able to buy your product, or at least have some type of interest or problem that could be solved from what you're offering, right? The next thing is pretty simple. It's really simple. Make sure that it's something that can make us money. So what do we call that? Good profit margins. If we see something on TikTok, it's some lipstick or something going viral or whatever, and we know that probably only costs $3 from China. It probably does. You're probably right. Which means we can sell it for 15 or 20, and that leaves us enough room to run our ads, which isn't complicated. Don't be overwhelmed by that. But we run some ads. Let's say our ads cost us $5 to make a sale. So every $5 we spend, we make a sale. So you take that 5, you add on however much the product costs, and then whatever's left over is what we get to keep. And that's how we make the money. In a simple form, right? That's a very simple explanation, okay? I like to look for products that are already getting attention, viral on Facebook or Instagram ads with high engagement. That would mean like comments, shares, reactions, you know. If a product is already selling, that means there's demand, and I can tap into that. I can get my piece of the pie. That's what I like to say. I don't try to guess what the market wants. I let the market tell me. If it's going viral and I'm looking at the comments on TikTok or on Facebook and everyone's loving it, great sign. But if I'm looking at the comments and people are kind of just laughing and nobody's being serious, they're joking about how ridiculous this is, that's why it's going viral. And that tells me I don't want to touch it, okay? Next. Mass appeal, okay? I only test products that can scale. If something only appears to underwater basket weavers in Alaska, not for me, man. I want products millions of people could buy. Think household, beauty, outdoor, fitness, simple problem-solving products that people buy impulsively. Even if it costs a little bit of money, they're like, that's a great idea. I wish someone thought of that earlier. I need that in my life. Healthy profit margins. A rule that I like to use is sell something for 3x, so 3 times what it already costs. If it costs $3 to get from China, we can sell it for 9. But there's a caveat to that. We have something called perceived value. Perceived value is like lipstick, as I've mentioned in maybe a previous video, right? So lipstick only costs 20, 30 cents. It's a bar of clay, of dyed clay. However, they can sell it for $30 or $40 because if you sold it for $9, it would seem cheap because the best ones on the market are selling at a certain price, right? So if you want to be perceived as someone who has the best on the market, then you need to look like and act like the ones who are selling for that price. So you can charge that higher price and use that perceived value of like you're a brand, but you just need to look like a brand. So how do we do that? Well, we'll get into that later, but simple explanation would be make your website look like theirs, make your content look like theirs, and use AI to help you do that. You don't need thousands of dollars of equipment. You don't need any equipment, really. If you're watching this video, then you already have everything you need to get started with dropshipping. And since it's Q4 is Q4 of the year, so the last few months of the year are the holiday months. And we all make tons of money, and it's the easiest time to start dropshipping because you can start a store and on the next day you're making sales since the demand of the country and the buying potential is so high. Everybody's buying something for something, something for something for someone. You know what I mean? So if it costs $10 to ship to a customer, I better be selling it for at least $30. This gives me room for ads and profit. Here's a product currently doing great numbers. I'm going to show you a live example and let's talk about it. All right, so here's a winning product right now, currently doing big numbers. I just found it, looking through Get Hooked right now, and I want to show you guys how you can tell that it's a winning product and something that we can sell. If you want to find products like on this Get Hooked platform, you just click a few buttons and it sorts through all the ads that are currently running, and you can see who has a ton of ads running. Like for this, for instance, as you can see, this company Magellan, they have 571 ads for this brand. They are making money. So I take their website and I go over to this website here called Similar Web Analytics, and I punch it in. I throw their URL in here, and it tells me they're making 100,000 monthly visitors, and it's down from last month, but 100,000 monthly visitors a month. What I know is that if I look at maybe 1% or 3% of those monthly visitors, that's who's actually buying from them. Just standard. They might actually be doing really well and doing 4 to 5%. On my stores, I do 5 to 6%. So imagine if 6% of this 104,000 people were buying from them, and their products are $1,000 products. For this infrared blanket, let's watch. Pretty cool product, to be honest with you. Some of you guys, or one of you at least, hopefully, will take this and go get rich, because this is a winning product. I don't need to, so I'm not going to go build a site and sell it. I have too much stuff going on already, okay? Once you hit a certain point in money, you don't really need more money. You need to manage what you already got going on. So that's what I'm doing, okay? However, that's when you get to a point when you're going to delegate and stuff like that. So worry about that later on. Okay, let's continue. As we can see here, look, they have a lot going on. However, their videos are pretty average. Okay, their website, pretty average. With a better ad and a stronger store, a beginner could take over this product today and print money, you know? So how do you find products like this? Well, every day, your Facebook and your Instagram feeds, they're always full of products. You just have to train your algorithm on Facebook or on Instagram or on TikTok. So like and save product ads. Click shop now on all the ads. Add items to cart. Engage with dropshipping ads specifically. If you don't see dropshipping ads yet, then engage with any ads until you start seeing them. Or, like, for instance, join gethooked.ai. I have a link in the description I think it has some type of free trial, right? But if you join something like this and you start interacting with dropshipping brands through this, then you're going to start seeing ads for it in your Facebook. So that's a little cheat code to improve the rate at which that happens, right? Facebook will think that you love buying random products and it'll start sending you winning product ads daily. I find several products a day, and it's just because I've been using the same Facebook account that I've been using for years. For years. They know I'm a real person. I've been engaging with this stuff for years, so I just see some good stuff, and I don't interact with everything. But when I see something that's like actually solving a problem, and the people who are commenting in the ads are like, "I just got this. We finally received it, and I love it," then I'm like, "Huh," and I write it down and I get a list of them. Well, really now I'm giving products to my students in my mentorship. I'm not even making new stores at this point. I'm just doing it for you guys, right? I've given you guys like 6 or 7 winning products. I have 2 students making sales on products that I've given them already, right? So once you kind of get the idea of what product you want to sell, next is going to be build a branded dropshipping store, okay? So next is going to be build a branded dropshipping store. There's 3 types of stores that you could do. There's a general store, which is too random, has no trust. You go to a grocery store, has everything. No. A one product store, yes, but it's too limiting, you know? You don't just want one product. You're not going to make enough money. Maybe you're going to run your ads and each sale isn't going to have enough dollar amount to it, you know? So I like to do a branded one product store. What that means, don't look at me crazy. All that means is that we do have a flagship product. So whatever the main product is that you chose to sell, that's going to be the thing that's really, let me get this off my face. That's going to be the thing that's really moving the traffic for us and making our ads make people click and go to our website. But once they get to our website, we know, like let's say we're selling some mountain biking product. We know that the person on our website now is a mountain biker, or they like that type of stuff, right? So along with our product, we're going to do really cool different types of angles, you know? So like for this product, for instance, let me use this as an example. This is a store that I like to build out. I like to build out stores just for the students so you guys can see live examples of kind of what a decent product might look like, yada, 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 okay? So for this, I'm just using this right now. This is not a finished situation. This is for some future video. But I'm using this right now to talk about bundles, okay? Because this is a hand warmer, a 2-in-1 hand warmer. They're magnetic, they stick together. Then you can pop them off, have 2 hand warmers. They're rechargeable, different heating modes, blah, 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 right? But they also have gloves with pouches in them that you can put a heat pack in, because there's been a previous solution to this problem, but the previous solution is not as good as this solution. So what do? We incorporate both of them together. You can bundle this product with the pair of gloves that allow you to insert the hand warmer into them. And now you can upsell, you can charge $30 more because they get this high quality pair of gloves plus the hand warmers, or they did buy 2 get 1 free plus, or like let's say you do buy 3 get 2 free, how I show here, and then it's a free gift, quote unquote, a free gift. And the free gift is just those gloves, which would incentivize someone even more to look at buy 3 get 2 free and be like, yeah, it's $99, but damn, those gloves, I mean, I might go spend $30 or $40 on a pair of gloves anyways. And plus they get 5 hand warmers with it. In reality, the gloves only cost you and I $2 from China, but that doesn't matter, right? What matters is the perceived value and the bundles and how we can tie everything together to make the numbers make sense to the person seeing them, you know? So now what's the next step and the best step? The most valuable step. If you're serious, start with Facebook ads. It costs money, but it's the fastest way to get data and scale and make money within a matter of days or weeks, depending on how much action you take, okay? And what kind of formula you're following. Now, if you have a formula to follow, great. If you have a mentor, great. You will save time and save money. You can do this either way. You don't need a course. You don't need a mentor. However, if you're going to do it yourself and teach yourself, then it's going to take trial and error. Let's just be straight up. You can make it work for sure, and you can get lucky and make it crack your first run. Okay? But if that doesn't work, and if you are going to choose that, then you're going to have to sign the paper, the invisible paper that says, I'm doing this myself. This might take a little longer, and I might make more mistakes, but those mistakes are going to teach you. Okay? Don't get distraught and don't give up. Okay? You only fail when you stop. This isn't an expensive thing. You don't need a massive budget as long as you have a job, to be honest. Anyone with a regular job, I think paying more than like $15 an hour, or even if you're good with saving money. If you've got 1 to 2K, if you've got more than that, even better, right? If you've got 5K, 5 to 10K, you're like guaranteed, you know? If you really want to streamline your process for success and just make sure you're getting there faster, if you want to make sales within 3 to 4 weeks and actually have a store making maybe between $200 to $300 a day in sales and in profit for you, tap in with the mentorship. I have a few students doing that right now, right here, and then right here. That message, that screenshot, this screenshot. And I've personally done $11 million. Direct daily one-on-one contact, direct contact, weekly calls, community mentorship, like step by step. I'm with you. I'm really guiding you, leading you through it. So that's done for that part. Let's move on. In order to set your video ad up, really you want a simple video ad. And then when we're running the ads, 5 ad sets. Okay, 1 campaign with 5 ad sets inside of it. 1 interest each, or no interests in any of them. An interest is just like we were talking about mountain biking. Mountain biking, that's an interest. Hiking, that's an interest, right? So you either do 1 interest per ad set or no interest, and go broad. If it's if it's a product that you don't need to target a specific person, and it's like toilet paper and you can sell it to many different people, then go broad. Don't do any interest targeting. But if you're selling pet products or something very specific, then use interests, and think when you're doing the interest testing, you know? Don't just go for the first thing that pops in your mind. Think about what the person, you know, if you're going for mountain biking, yeah, obviously we know that they're going to be in the mountain biking interest. However, what is other things that they do on a day-to-day basis? Things that we know they love or enjoy or buy. You know, maybe like a mountain biking shoe. Like, you know, there's a brand that only makes mountain biking shoes or helmets or something. Like, start thinking outside the box and target those interests instead. Because running ads is a bid system. And what you're bidding is your video. Okay? Your video is competing against your competitor's video. And whoever has the best video wins the bid and gets a cheaper cost per click, cost per purchase, yada, 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 right? We want to do maybe $10 to $20 a day budget per ad set. Or if you're going to do a CBO campaign, do $50 a day to $100 a day. Okay. Target United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, or only target United States. Depends on your product and kind of what your market is and who your people are going to be and where they're going to be at, right? Throughout the process of you learning and you watching the videos that I have, or you joining the school mentorship, you're going to see that we use AI for a lot of this stuff. So AI tells us most of the information, if not all of it, and most of the skill and the mastery behind it is really knowing how to communicate with AI. You know, it's not as simple as just giving it a sentence or two or a paragraph. It really is like we're talking in a specific way to them. You know what I mean? Now we tie the video together with a clean website. In the text for the video, you're just going to do 1 sentence with 3 bullet points. So like, this will grow your hair faster. And then results in 7 days, money back guarantee, buy one, get one free. And then you'll have the call to action. That's what CTA means. Call to action is going to be just your website link. But I always do a double paste. Like, I put the website link twice. Because for some reason, when I do it once, it doesn't ever click properly. But when I do it twice, Clicks every time, you know what I'm saying? So next after that is just like fulfillment and customers. Fulfillment is shipping out the orders. That's the easiest part. And I get that question a lot, to be honest. I do have a link below for a supplier where you can just take a link from AliExpress and put it in the supplier. It'll put it on your store for you. All you do is click like 2 buttons. And then once an order comes in to you, once a customer places an order on your website, it goes straight to the supplier. And then all you got to do is pay them, click a button and pay them. And then they will have the product shipped from China to your customer within 5 to 10 days. Okay. So fulfill daily if you can, as soon as you get paid, right? Answer customers in the emails or hire your mom to do it, right? Actually, I bought my mom a house when I was 23. And one of the ways that I was able to do that legally is I paid her a shitload of money to do customer service. Like, yeah. So, because if you just write them a check for a lot of money, they're going to have to pay taxes and all of that. But the taxes are a lot less if it isn't just a large sum of money. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. Make them an employee and pay them. Moving on. So this is where you separate yourself from amateurs, you know, because good customer experience equals a higher conversion in repeat customers. Okay. Repeat customer. Ooh, like people who word of mouth is the most powerful. I know it sounds like stupid, but one person can make you 5 sales and you won't know how you're making money. Like after you run a store for a month or 2, you could turn your ads off and you'll notice you're still making money. And it's just a word of mouth. And just people have been talking about how good it is. So it's a powerful thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the exact strategy I use. Product research, building a store, launching the ads, scaling the winners. If you want me to personally mentor you through this and help you launch your store the right way, I did open a private e-commerce mentorship program. It's 90 days, 3 months, and it's not for everybody. If you're committed and you're coachable, apply below. There's a link. Message me or go through the link. I'll review applications personally, right? If this video helped you, drop the comment below. Subscribe for more ecom game. I'll see you in the next video. There's more to come. I love showing you guys these little these updates on the business every few days. I think the last video, this was what, 18,000 or something like that. Now we're at almost 24. The next video, hopefully it'll be at 35. I want to really ramp this little brand up, but I have other stuff going on. So I'm doing this one slowly and kind of trickling up. As you can see, we do a little monthly recurring revenue, but it's nothing. It's not a big part of the business. So that's why it's kind of just like right there. I'm not really pushing the MRR. $3,700 a month in MRR, monthly recurring revenue, is very cool though. And I don't even have to it's just like a byproduct of the sales that the business is making. So you could be doing this for yourself. It's Q4. Lock in. There's no excuse for you to be waiting or trying to learn. Like the best way to do this is learn as you go. If you try to figure everything out before you take a single step, then you're never going to start. And if you do start, then you're going to be trying to stick to a linear path that you planned. Life is never linear, my friend. Nothing is ever linear in life. You might have like a starting point and an end point, and those might be true. But the way you get there is going to be like this. You're going to zigzag all the way there. It's not going to just be shoot. Okay? So there are ways that you can streamline that process and make it so you don't have to spend so much time and money and effort and blood, sweat, and tears to do things. But if you're going to, okay. Until next time, ladies and gents, thanks for watching.